Chosen one. You did not stumble here, you were led here. There are no accidents in the realm of the Spirit. The very breath of God whispered your name, and that whisper guided your steps to this exact moment. Listen carefully. You are not watching this by chance. Heaven placed this message in front of you because your destiny carries weight, because your survival was not random, because your protection has been sealed. You have wondered why you are still standing. You have questioned why the arrows that were meant to pierce you missed their mark, why the betrayals that should have broken you only made you stronger, why storms that drowned others could not swallow you whole. Beloved, the answer is this. God whispered, "Protect this one." Angels were assigned. Doors were locked that you thought were open. Paths were blocked that you thought you wanted. People walked away, not because they rejected you, but because heaven was shielding you. This is a sacred moment, and before this message ends, you will understand the hidden truth behind your preservation. You will see why your life has been marked, why you were spared, and why you carry a mantle that others cannot see. Stay until the end, because the final revelation will shift everything you thought you knew about your journey. It will be the missing key your spirit has been waiting for. And as a first act of faith, declare it now. Type in the comments, "I am protected." Do not just type it as words, but as a decree. As you like, comment, and subscribe, you are not just engaging with a video, you are aligning with your destiny. This is your moment, chosen one, and heaven is speaking. There is something you need to know, something decided before you were even born. In the hidden chambers of heaven, your name was spoken. It was not shouted, it was whispered. Whispered because what is precious is guarded. Whispered because not everyone was meant to hear it. Whispered because destiny is too sacred to be exposed before its time. And when God whispered your name, the atmosphere shifted. Assignments were released. Angels were dispatched. Walls were erected in the unseen to shield you. This is why you survived what others did not. Why the accident missed you. Why betrayal, though it cut deeply, could not destroy you. Why in your weakest moments, you found strength you never knew you had. You have asked, why me? Why am I still here? The answer is simple. Because heaven decreed, protect this one. They are part of my design. Picture this, a scroll sealed in the king's chamber. It holds secrets too powerful for wandering eyes. Guards surround it. Doors are locked around it. No hand can touch it unless permitted by the king. You are that scroll. Your destiny has been written, sealed, and preserved. Even when the enemy tried to steal the script of your life, the seal could not be broken. Psalm 91:11 declares, "For he will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways." This is not a verse for everyone. It is a decree for those who are marked, and you are marked. Reflect for a moment. How many times have you said, "If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here today"? That is not exaggeration. That is testimony. That is evidence of the whisper. Even the places where you thought you failed were covered by protection. Even the relationships that collapsed were divine shields. Even the opportunities that slipped away were heaven's way of redirecting you from harm. Do you see it now? Your life has been guided not by coincidence, but by command. Every closed door was not rejection, but redirection. Every delay was not punishment, but preservation. Every lonely night was not abandonment, but alignment. Yet the whisper is not only about protection, it is about preparation. For those hidden are preserved with purpose, to be revealed carrying power untouched by corruption. But let me ask you, if God has whispered your name to be protected, then why has it often felt like rejection? Why does being chosen sometimes feel like being forgotten? That is the next revelation, because what feels like isolation is actually heaven's secret strategy. You have felt it, that deep loneliness, that strange distance between you and the world, the feeling of being misunderstood, overlooked, even abandoned. And you have asked yourself, if I am chosen, why do I feel so alone? The truth is this: your isolation was not punishment, it was strategy. The Lord hides what he values. A diamond is not found on the surface, and it is buried deep. Gold does not rest on the streets, it is hidden in the earth. The rarest treasures are always concealed, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. That is why you could not fit in, why you were not accepted in every circle, why certain doors closed, even when you begged for them to remain open. God was not rejecting you, he was preserving you. Look at Elijah. When his life was threatened, God led him into hiding by the brook Cherith. There, ravens fed him. There, water sustained him. There, in the hidden place, Elijah was preserved until it was time to step back into the light. That has been your life, your brook season, your hidden place, where God sustained you in ways that made no sense, where provision came from unexpected sources, where you felt unseen by people but held by the unseen hand of heaven. And yes, it hurt. It hurt to feel left out. It hurt to watch others run ahead while you remained still. It hurt to wonder if you had been forgotten. But you were never forgotten. You were hidden. The difference is everything. Forgotten means abandoned. Hidden means preserved. Isaiah 49:2 says, "He made me into a polished arrow and concealed me in his quiver." You are that arrow, sharpened in secret, polished in silence, kept close to the heart of the archer until the moment of release. You may have thought you were overlooked, but you were being positioned, because when heaven hides you, it is only to reveal you in power. Yet let me ask you this: if you were hidden and preserved, then why has your life still felt so fiery? Why, even in isolation, did you face the flames? Why did your hidden place not shield you from the heat of trials? That is the next mystery. Because isolation protects you from people, but fire refines you for purpose. Hear this clearly. The fire you walked through was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal you. The flames were not punishment, they were preparation. Because what carries true glory must first pass through fire. Think of gold. In its raw form, it is covered with dirt, hidden in rock. But when placed in the furnace, the fire burns away impurities. The gold is not destroyed. It is purified, strengthened, made radiant. You are that gold. The fire did not consume your life. It uncovered your light. You survived betrayals. You endured heartbreaks. You faced financial storms. You fought battles in your mind and soul. And still, you are here. Why? Because the fire could not consume what heaven ordained. Isaiah 43:2 declares, "When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, and the flames shall not set you ablaze." This was not poetry. It was prophecy, a promise sealed over the lives of those who belong to God. Remember the 3 Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were thrown into a furnace so hot it killed the soldiers nearby, yet they were untouched. Why? Because a 4th man walked with them. The Son of God was present. The fire that was meant to kill them became the stage for his glory. This is your story. The flames revealed your companion. The fire revealed that you were never alone. But the fire did more than purify. It separated. When the heat rose, certain people could not remain. Relationships crumbled. Connections ended. Because not everyone can endure the weight of your calling. Do not mourn those who left you in the fire. It was a test of loyalty. The flames exposed what was pure and what was counterfeit. They revealed enemies disguised as friends. And this brings us to the next revelation. If fire purifies you, it also uncovers those secretly against you. So let me ask, are you ready to see why your enemies noticed your light before you did? Are you ready to understand why opposition rose against you the moment you began to awaken? Because the truth is this: your enemies recognized your destiny before you fully embraced it. There is a reason you have faced so much resistance, a reason for the jealousy, a reason for the betrayal, a reason you were targeted even before you understood your own worth. Your enemies saw your light before you did. The spiritual realm recognized your calling long before you awakened to it. and darkness always strikes early, before a seed can grow into a tree. Think of Joseph, a young dreamer with visions of greatness, of standing in divine authority. But even before those dreams came true, his brothers hated him. Why? Because they sensed the weight of destiny on his life. They saw what he carried before he could carry it himself, and so it has been with you. People turned against you without cause. Jealousy rose without reason. Doors closed without explanation. Attacks came not because of who you are today, but because of who you are becoming. Opposition is not proof of weakness. It is proof of worth. The greater the calling, the greater the conflict. The brighter the light, the darker the shadows that gather around it. Psalm 27:2 says, "When the wicked, even mine enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell." Do you see it? Enemies rise, but they do not prevail. They attack, but they stumble. They plot, but their schemes collapse under the weight of God's hand. Your survival is not an accident. Your enemies failed because heaven whispered, "Protect this one." They could not touch what was sealed. They could not destroy what was preserved. And yet, even your enemies were woven into God's design. Just as Joseph's betrayal led him to Egypt, where destiny awaited, your betrayals have been doors disguised as pain. Your heartbreaks have been pathways disguised as loss. Your opposition has been the wind pushing you toward your assignment. Stop asking, "Why do they hate me?" Start declaring, "They see what I carry." Because when enemies surround you, it is evidence that something worth protecting lives inside you. But here is the deeper truth. Enemies are only part of the story. For while opposition rises, heaven also raises protectors, and you were never left unguarded. So let me ask, if enemies saw your light before you did, what about those divinely sent to shield you? What about the hidden protectors heaven assigned to walk beside you? That is the next revelation. You have not only been opposed, you have also been defended. Chosen one, you have been surrounded, not by chance, not by coincidence, but by divine assignment. Heaven has placed protectors in your path. Some you saw, some you never noticed. Some were people, some were angels in disguise. When God whispered your name, He did not only seal your destiny, He commanded guardians to cover you. This is why you survived what should have taken you out. This is why you found help in the most unexpected places. This is why, even in the valley of shadows, you were never truly alone. Remember Elisha and his servant. When they were surrounded by an enemy army, the servant trembled in fear. But Elisha prayed, "Lord, open his eyes that he may see." And suddenly, the servant saw the hills filled with horses and chariots of fire surrounding them. And Elisha declared in 2 Kings 6:17, "Those who are with us are more than those who are with them." Chosen one, this is your reality. The opposition you see is nothing compared to the protection you cannot see. The enemies you know about are outnumbered by the angels you don't know are standing guard. Think back, the near accident you avoided, the deal that fell through, the relationship that ended abruptly, the conversation that never happened. You called it bad luck or rejection, but in truth, those were protectors in motion, invisible shields redirecting your steps. And sometimes protectors came through people. The friend who prayed for you when you didn't even ask. The stranger who gave you a word that confirmed what your spirit already knew. The mentor who appeared just when you needed guidance. Even the person who left your life because their departure was protection in disguise. Beloved, you have been surrounded in ways you cannot count, because God never leaves His chosen ones unguarded. But here is what you must understand. Not all protectors look like heroes. Some look ordinary. Some look unexpected. Some look like they don't belong in your story at all. That is the mystery we step into next. Because sometimes, the greatest protector is not the one you prayed for, but the one you never expected. Chosen one. Not every protector looks like an angel. Not every shield comes with shining light. Sometimes heaven hides its guardians in ordinary faces. Sometimes the hand that saves you looks nothing like the hand you expected. Think of Moses, a baby, marked for death. Pharaoh had commanded that every Hebrew boy be killed. And yet, when his mother placed him in the river, an unexpected protector appeared. Pharaoh's own daughter, the daughter of the very man who decreed his death, became the vessel of his survival. Do you see it? God can turn even the house of the enemy into a place of refuge. He can use those who should have opposed you to sustain you. He can make strangers rise on your behalf, simply because heaven whispered, "Protect this one." Chosen one, reflect on your own life. How many times did help come from an unexpected place? A door opened through someone you barely knew. A resource arrived through someone you never trusted. An opportunity came through someone you thought was against you. That was no accident. That was heaven's hidden hand. Isaiah 45:1-2 speaks of Cyrus, a Persian king, not even part of Israel. Yet God called him his anointed to open doors and break through gates of bronze. Do you see the pattern? God often uses the unlikely, the outsider, the unexpected, because his ways are higher than ours. Beloved, this is why you cannot judge your journey only by appearances. Some of the people who stepped into your path were not random. They were carriers of protection, even if they didn't know it, even if you didn't recognize it at the time. But here lies a deeper truth. Human protectors, no matter how divinely sent, are only temporary vessels. Because the ultimate covering does not rest in people. It rests in covenant, chosen one. If God can whisper your name into the ears of angels, kings, and even strangers, how much more powerful is the covenant he has sealed over your life? This is the next revelation, that your protection, your preservation, and your destiny are not secured by human hands, but by a covenant written before time began. Chosen one. Your destiny is not fragile. It is not hanging by a thread. It is not dependent on the opinions of people, the strength of enemies, or the shifting winds of circumstance. Your destiny is sealed, signed, secured by covenant. What does this mean? It means that long before you took your first breath, God had already written your story. He did not simply hope it would unfold. He decreed it. He established it. He sealed it with his word. Imagine a royal letter, written by the king, sealed with his signet ring. No one can open it. No one can alter it. No one can erase the words written inside. Only the intended recipient may see its contents. Chosen one, you are that sealed letter. Your life is a message heaven wrote for earth, sealed until the appointed time. And no hand, no enemy, no force can break what God himself has sealed. Jeremiah 29:11 declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Do you see? These are not suggestions. They are plans. Plans bound by covenant, not by chance. This is why every attempt to derail you failed. This is why every trap collapsed. This is why, even when you stumbled, you could not be destroyed. Because your covenant speaks louder than your mistakes. Chosen one. The enemy does not fight you because of where you are. He fights you because of where you are destined to be. And yet, the battle is already decided. Because your covenant was signed before the war began, but there is more. This covenant is not only about your protection, it is about your assignment. Because you are not just preserved to survive, you are preserved to fulfill, to walk in alignment, to release what heaven planted in you before time began. Beloved, this is why the weight you carry feels so heavy. It is not the weight of punishment. It is the weight of covenant. It is the seal of heaven resting upon your life. And now, we approach the final revelation, the truth that ties every whisper, every isolation, every fire, every enemy, every protector, and every covenant together. The truth that answers the deepest question in your soul: why am I still here? Chosen one, prepare your spirit. Because what you are about to hear will change how you see your entire journey. The final key is about to be placed in your hand. Chosen one, you have walked with me through the whisper, through the isolation, through the fire, through the revelation of enemies, through the assignment of protectors, through the mystery of the unexpected, and through the covenant that cannot be broken. Now, hear the final truth. The reason you are still here, the reason you were preserved, the reason storms could not drown you and fires could not consume you, is because your destiny is not only about you. God whispered, "Protect this one, because your life is woven into the destiny of others." You are not just chosen for survival. You are chosen for connection. You are chosen for impact. You are chosen because someone else's breakthrough is tied to your obedience. Beloved, your life is a divine intersection. Every delay, every heartbreak, every closed door, every season of loneliness, all of it was heaven's way of positioning you, so that when the time came, you would be ready to step into alignment. Ephesians 2:10 declares, "For we are God's masterpiece, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." Did you hear it? Prepared in advance? Before the battle, before the pain, before the trial, your assignment was already sealed. Chosen one, you are part of someone else's deliverance, and someone else is part of yours. You are both protected and a protector, both preserved and positioned, both hidden and now revealed. This is why you are still alive. This is why you could not be taken out, because your destiny carries others within it, and heaven will not allow that assignment to be cut short. Now it is time to rise, not in fear, not in confusion, but in clarity, with the confidence that you are sealed, protected, and chosen. Declare it now, with boldness. Type in the comments, "I am protected. I am chosen. I am sealed." Let this be your decree, not as empty words, but as a spiritual alignment with your destiny. And as you like, comment, and subscribe, do it as an act of faith, not just to support a channel, but to declare to heaven and earth, "I agree with the covenant over my life." Chosen one, let us seal this moment with prayer. Father, I thank you for every chosen one listening now. I decree divine protection over their steps. I decree clarity over their calling. I decree strength for their journey. And I release the revelation that they are sealed by covenant and destined for impact. Let no force break what you have written, and let every chosen one rise in their true identity. In Jesus' name, amen. This is your moment, chosen one. You are alive by design. You are chosen by covenant. You are protected by decree. Now walk boldly into your destiny.